and welcome to the exciting season premiere of Men's Fashion Insider. I'm your host, Marcellus L. Jones, and of course, this is the queen of K9 glamour, Phaedra. In today's excitement, I've got for you the new collections by Lanvin, J.W. Anderson, John Varvatos, Monica Potashik, and Cornelione, who topped our list last season as the #1 collection of the season. And of course, we have for you those behind-the-scenes interviews that you love so much. But first, over to Chris Housen in North America with more.
Thanks, Marcellus. Today we head to New York for Tommy Hilfiger. Then here in Toronto, we check out the latest from Strellson. But first, we're headed back to Europe with Marcellus.
Here at Cornelione for the presentation of the Fall/Winter 2012-2013 collection, and I have behind me the storyboard. Now, once again, of course, our wonderful storyboards, they actually tell us the déroulement of the entire collection. Now, in this particular season, Sergio Cornelione has decided to base the collection on his concept of the Great Gatsby. So in this collection, we are going to start off with some wonderful coats, lots of gorgeous suits, and some of the most exquisite fabrics available. Then as we move on, we see the collection add in lots of large scarves and handbags here for a more tailored look. We have some other pieces that are underneath. And then I have to say, my favorite piece in this collection has to probably be this little cape jacket here.
I believe in elegance, in style, and we need to reinterpret elegance and style for a contemporary man, but we have to maintain the elegance and propose the elegance because beauty will help the world. We have to work very hard on quality, on the make, the fabric, and all materials, and the image, the identity. Is very, very difficult and a hard job, but it's necessary. We need to have a very clear vision of where we are, where we want to go, and work very hard on product and image.
I love the sartorial vibe, the sartorial touch of all the clothes. I loved all the cardigans. I will buy all the cardigans next season. I love the sweater with the elephant on, which was amazing. I loved all the blue outfits. I will definitely buy one of their jackets next season. I think Cornelione is one of the best brands in Italy for sartorial suits. So they use wonderful textiles, wonderful fabrics. So it's amazing.
That was Sergio Cornelione's presentation of his new collection for Fall/Winter 2012-2013 here in Milan, Italy. Now again, he decided to create a collection around the theme of the Great Gatsby, and the way he interpreted this theme in today's collection, it happened in wonderful fabrics. We have to say that Cornelione is one of those Italian houses that is so well known for its amazing fabrics, its amazing cuts. Now, what I have to say that I really liked about this collection was pretty much everything. I don't believe there was something that I saw that I didn't like. I think I absolutely loved everything. Now, what he did in this collection, he started out with some total looks suits. He also threw in some amazing trench coats, which also are used in some of the large window pane fabrics that we did see in some of the other suits. Now, I did like the way he kept the trench coats close to the body. I like the way he cut the blazers short to the body, and I like the overall vibe of this collection. I mean, you really need to just record this episode, rewind it, and look at this collection again. It was really great. But you're watching Men's Fashion Insider. Men's Fashion Insider has come to the presentation of the new collection for Fall/Winter 2012-2013 at French fashion house Lanvin.
You see that we start with a suit, classic suits in color. So there's something optimistic about that. And near the end, you see this kind of mix of almost like wedding suits, things you'd wear to a wedding, but then mixed with street influences. So there's down jackets, there's big parkas, and in both of them there's some kind of optimism.
I think that this collection, and you'll see later, I mean, everything started with a lot of photos that we all brought from our family. So the inspiration was like family. So it was not just a nice coat. It was a nice coat on your dad. And it was a beautiful jacket on your brother. So there was that element that came through.
Well, there's also a lot of technical research inside. What we did this season is a lot of new fabrics that are bonded with neoprene inside. We did some kind of inserts with silicone in knitwear. We had neoprene inserts under classic tailoring. So there's all kind of technical new discoveries inside, which make our suits new as well. They're individual. It's really not about a uniform, it's about character and individual pieces that are special.
The continuing evolution of the collection and how it really relates to so many people. It's not only on the high end, it's actually one of the best fitting suits in the industry. Their accessories, their shoes, the sneakers are awesome. And I think that as they just keep evolving the collection, it becomes more and more compelling.
It's interesting to see a menswear collection that's kind of really handled with the same conceptual approach as a women's wear collection. I mean, with a focus on sort of intriguing cutting and the color palette and so on. I thought, yeah, there was a lot of sort of playing with unconventional silhouettes, a sort of very exaggerated dropped shoulder line and a sort of pant trouser silhouette that kind of fitted and then flared, but wasn't really a 70s flare. It was kind of a new way to do a sort of flare. So it was just intriguing seeing so much design going on in the men's collection.
That was the presentation of Lanvin's new menswear collection for fall winter 2012-2013. This is a collection of great style, great chic. Just typically Lanvin, always innovative, setting the pace for what's going to be fashion, and that is certainly going to be copied by other houses in the seasons to come. What I particularly loved about this collection most is the little peaks that we saw on some of the shoulders and the more structured pieces, such as the blazers. And the second thing I liked about this collection the most, I would have to say, would have to be, well, we have a coat jacket that is cut as a single breast, right? But then we don't see the button that holds them together. And actually, the two sides never really fully meet together. They actually stop about 2 inches apart. And inside, they are held together by a very visible rectangular band. I think this is creating a new silhouette, a new chic, a new style aesthetic. And this is happening here at Lanvin in Paris. And you're watching Men's Fashion Insider. Men's Fashion Insider takes you over now to the presentation of J.W. Anderson's new collection for fall winter 2012-2013.
This is coming into our 5th or 6th menswear collection, and this one is based on kind of like domestic architectures, kind of playing with like new fabrics which we have developed, sort of like laser cutting and neoprenes and leather and kind of like a smorgasbord of lots of different things. So this is a laser cut neoprene, which we developed last season. We just carried it forward because it was very popular, and we played with different kind of like very fine tones against like beige with black, and then you have the contrast of white inside, and it's kind of like this kind of very naive, minimal structure that kind of, I like the feel of something which is, I don't know, a little bit art-based, which is conceptual, but still is a wearable tactic with it. So, it's one of my favorite pieces of the collection. For me, it's sort of, it has to be pieces that interact or something which is really new. Like, I think the laser cut neoprene is a really new piece. It's kind of, it's not for everyone, but it's a kind of a new structure. And I feel that in this day and age, you need something which pushes boundaries, and you need something which is fresh and gives a point of view. And I think those jackets really give that.
That was the J.W. Anderson new collection for fall winter 2012-2013. And here in this collection, the designer is pushing boundaries, really working with neoprene, using laser cuts. You're watching Men's Fashion Insider.
After the break, Marcellus brings us John Varvatos and D Squared, and in North America, we see the latest from Tommy Hilfiger. Welcome back to Men's Fashion Insider. First up, we're headed back to Europe for the latest from John Varvatos and D Squared, and then it's Tommy Hilfiger in New York.
This is the storyboard behind John Varvatos' new collection for fall winter 2012-2013. Now, if you look here, it looks as if John is moving us away from the spring summer, but he does start off the fall winter with some very light colors here. Now, I want you to pay close attention to the knitwear here, because here we have a very long jacket here, which is done in knitwear, and it has this gorgeous zipper here. John Varvatos has decided to make knitwear a very important part of this collection. As the collection moves on into the last phase of it, John, he starts to add in all of those dark colors, such as the navy blues that we see here. And then he adds in the blacks that we see here. And this is a theme that he just continues on until close to the end, where we have the grays making their last appearance in the collection here. And we see this again here in a three-piece suit. And then as the collection moves on, he heads on back to the black section, and he rounds out the collection. He ends in all black.
Yeah, you know, I usually go someplace else to get inspiration, but there's so much energy and there's so much in New York. And it wasn't me walking in the street. It was the thought of that, the video that we played, of the guy that was in New York in his 20s, and he was exploring the past and looking for new discoveries. And it was kind of the juxtaposition between the old and the new. You know, the shape of the silhouettes are quite contemporary, they're quite modern. A lot of the way we constructed the fabrics was kind of old world and artisan-like. The knitwear part of it, I just had this whole feeling about knit dressing, and I think it's a great thing. It's like nice and easy and comfortable, but chic at the same time. But easy, not too complicated, not over the top, but yeah, it's kind of like a reverse tail, formal tail kind of thing. We were playing around with new proportion and new details, and not trying to be contrived, but trying to do new things that felt fresh.
That was another kick-ass collection by American designer John Varvatos. He's come here, he's presented his new collection here in Milan, Italy for fall winter 2012-2013. John, he did amazing things in the collection. He began the collection with very light colors. He moved it on into darker colors. He started with the grays, and then he went into some navy blues, and he finished the show out with blacks. What's going to sell from this collection? Well, pretty much everything. John did amazing work with his knitwear. He did it in different sizes as well. He did some larger knitwear pieces, and then he did some other knitwear pieces that were extremely fine, which kind of puts us in the mind of the weaving that we would see in cashmere pieces. One of the things that I like best about this collection were those amazing boots with the zippers on either side of the collection. Now, to me, those are going to be one of the hit accessories from this collection, along with those huge, very masculine man bags that we see in leathers and tweezers sometimes, and then we see them also in leather and canvas mixed together. This is John Varvatos' collection. I think it's another top seller for the season, and you're watching Men's Fashion Insider here in Milan, Italy. For fall winter 2012-2013, Canadian designers Dan and Dean Catton take us back to university for a new lesson on style.
This morning it was like a really strong collection from D Squared. I think the influence and the inspiration was from school, like teenager school, but a little bit bad boy at the same time. We see the boys smoking, having fun with the school, teasing the teacher. The collection was very D Squared actually, very strong, very powerful at the same time, very winter and very wearable. I think it will have a big success for next year.
Very the boy from a good family, well-dressed, going to school. He's a little bit rebellious. There's sort of a take on neoclassic 60s cool. The lengths are cropped, the knees are tight, the shoulders are round, things are unconstructed, they're maybe doubled, they're washed. They're not they're not foreign to these boys. It's like the jacket's not the first time they put it on. It seems like it's a part of them. It has a history. It has its own identity. The colors are classic camels, reds, beige. Lots of denim this time. We're making a statement on the new shape in our jean, which is the Mini Miller and the Clermont. The Mini Miller is definitely the signed knee that Dean was speaking about with the bottled flare. And the little Clermont is a super skinny little short crop jean. And we're broadening our accessory range, so there's a lot of bags. I mean, going to school, you need a bag. So there's a lot of bags in this show. Totes, bags, leather, suedes, tweeds, everything. You got it all, man.
We are totally extremely excited about the show. The music was amazing, the decor was amazing, the set, the sound designer, the models, everything. I mean, it was more than perfect.
That was Dan and Dean Catton's exciting new collection presented here in Milan, Italy for fall/winter 2012-2013. Now, of course, the designers decided to take us back to university where the high society bourgeois boys act really awfully in class, and they do it with great style. In this collection, we saw Dan and Dean keeping the jeans really closely cut to the bodies. What I like about those jeans is that they actually use a true blue denim and not some faded out version of denim. So this is really refreshing to see designers coming back to that. Now, they also decided to put in lots of accessories into the collection. You have to pay attention to those gorgeous man bags and travel weekend bags that they have there. Now, one of the other exciting parts about this collection in terms of editorial pieces is, of course, those wonderful denim jackets and those large parkas with those wonderful, shiny, blingy silver buttons and studs on those sleeves. This is a great collection. In my opinion, this is perhaps one of the most exciting collections presented here during the fall/winter 2012-2013 season in Milan, and I'm very happy that we got a chance to share that with you right here at Men's Fashion Insider.
I'm a great friend of Tommy Hilfiger, of course. I've worked with him on numerous occasions. I love the collection. I think it's very interesting, you know, the kind of rock accents that it has, and also the life of a cadet. It's very cool, it's very hip. And, you know, it's the modern man and very interesting. So that's what brought me out here tonight, yeah.
Big fan of Tommy, always have been, and it's just great to see your friends again. They've been working so hard on this, and I love being here. I love being here in New York for Fashion Week.
The inspiration this season is really military prep, the sporting life, and rock and roll. And when you blend all together, you come up with a look that is very unique and very unusual. Rich, deep, dark colors, motorcycle jackets, military-inspired coats, pea coats, military cadet or cadet prep, and tweeds, houndstooth, clothes for the outdoors. We have suedes and leathers, and then we have shearlings, and shearling with a little bit of trim, a little bit of detail for the rock and roll rock star. It is really about taking a walk in Central Park. It's about bringing Central Park inside, but it's really also to show a bit of drama on the runway rather than just have a straight runway, and also tie us into what we call our heritage, which is Ivy League. And if you look at the brick walls with the ivy, it's about Ivy League.
I think it was beautiful. I mean, it's really, you know, Tommy's always had, you know, some edge and inspiration from a lot of this European and also some kind of rock and roll. He's always loved rock and roll, and he made it all very accessible. It's still fun and edge, and you know, it's a fashion show. It's fun. I mean, he's still a classic American designer with a little edge, and that's what makes him special, that twist. And he brought us the twist today, and I like that.
Coming up next, Monika Ptaszek from Poland. Then Marcellus gives us a backstage pass for an insider look at Madrid Fashion Week. Welcome back to Men's Fashion Insider. Now we're off to Europe as Marcellus brings us the latest from Monica Potasic and a first look at the fashion perspective of Madrid, Spain.
Men's Fashion Insider brings you to the presentation of the new Fall/Winter 2012-2013 menswear collection by Polish designer Monica Potasic.
Yes, that's right. It's quite new, more men and more for men. I figured that I shouldn't do the unisex clothes anymore because I'm tired of this, and I want to do a strong collection for men. Yeah, I'm always searching for some way to do something fashion, artistic, and to do something that inspired me in life. And I try to show this everything what goes around me in my collection. You know, it's strange for a designer to talk about what he did. Actually, more I want to interview with people what they think about it, how they see the show, what they feel like when they watch it, when it's finished, what's in their head. I can interview some of people to know better my collection actually.
That was the new collection by Potasic for men, signed by Polish designer Monica Potasic here at the Fashion Philosophy in Łódź, Poland. In this collection, the designer, she made us think that she was going to go back to her roots. However, she quickly changed the tone of the collection by bringing in largely cut trousers. She brought in lots of micro checks into the collection. There were also motifs that reminded us of paint splotches, as if someone had taken wet paint and let it drip down the sides of the coats and the jackets and the sleeves. This is a very different collection for Potasic for men by Polish designer Monica Potasic here at the Fashion Week in Łódź, Poland. You are watching Men's Fashion Insider.
Today we're in Toronto at Strellson's showroom giving you a sneak peek of their Fall/Winter 2012 collection.
Focusing on Strellson's trend for Fall/Winter 2012, and it's really about a renewed elegance. It's a return to elegance, but it's simplicity in the fabrication and lots of pops of color. The trends for us is slimmer fits, comfortable fits of garments, but uses of color in accessories, knitwear, shirts, and scarves and things like that really set the tone for the collection. The first mannequin that we have here really exemplifies that. You've got a really nice, soft, solid fabric, but it has texture within the cloth, so you can see there's something going on. Also, there's a pick stitch detail and AMF finish that really adds a nice detail to it. Again, the color in the sweater, in the knitwear, a nice pop of orange. Within the scarf as well, you've got the burgundies, oranges, grays, and greens coming out. So again, a really sharp look. It's comfortable, soft-fitting garments, slightly slimmer in the fit, higher in the armhole, but really comfortable. New details like the removable storm panel, great chunky buttons on this guy. Again, the use of a ticket pocket here. And the trouser, a really soft micro-flanneled Ceramica fabric. I can't not talk about color. So the wonderful, wonderful high orange. This is a merino, extra fine merino and silk combination in a knit. Great for layering. So whether it's taking this shirt and putting it underneath the V-neck and layering it under, or just by itself with a nice clean tee. The V-neck really is the centerpiece for the layering, but also the color, whether it's a high royal blue, a nice bright green, reds, and of course the orange. Also, one of the main trends has been into soft sport jackets. This unlined, unfinished, soft construction, no shoulder pads, nothing. And important to go with that would be the shirts. We have great plaids and lots of contrast detail on the sleeve, in the back of the collar, but checks, really important. Checks, stripes, patterns. We've really kind of moved away from a lot of solid shirts. It's really going into more pattern, people having fun with what they're wearing. And the final piece that kind of caps everything off is our new modern trench. This is not the Maxwell Smart trench coat. This is something a little more aggressive. It's fun, great lining on the inside. So you've got everything from functionality and weatherability. So you've got things that are water repellent. You have the downfill for the warmth of our winters, which we do need. We also have a lot of fun with the fashion. These sports jackets, plaid shirts, some great knitwear. Lots of fun. And of course, the denims in 5 pockets. Anti-fit is a key for next season, for the fall 12, as well as nice clean fitting denims that are nice and comfy on the middle, on the top, and then slim down to the bottom.
With the implementation of European styling on an eclectic selection of fabrics, Strellson has everything you need to be cozy and trendy this season.
I am excited because every season we bring to you new fashion weeks into our program, and this season we bring to you the fashions from the Madrid Fashion Week in Madrid, Spain. So I am all excited. We got lots of menswear coming up for you this season, and here is a very special preview of what we have coming up and a special interview with the living fashion legend, Miss Agatha Ruiz de la Prada, the queen of Spanish fashion.
I used to do men's collections, and they were my favorite because I was walking in the catwalk with 25 men's dressed in Agatha, and it was the most exciting thing I have ever done in my life. And I think that when you design for men, they are much more loyal, much better clients, and it's the best of the thing is to design for men.
He said it's very trending right now at this moment, the male fashion in Spain, and it's becoming at the same level as the feminine one.
We have like really big opposite designers. For example, we have Carlos Diaz, he's like Jeremy Scott in Spain. Really kind of dodgy, like really big size, sporty, and more like sportwear. And then we have, for example, Anna Lokin, like more classy, British, and really, really clean in everything. We just have designers like Carlos and designers like Anna Lokin, for example.
Well, Alberto Pura, that he studied at Ego, is a very young designer, but he thinks that they're going to be really big. A lot of art.
I think menswear in Spain is not our strong point. I think we have to be patient, we have to be creative, we have to be strong.
It's a little bit too conventional, it needs more color. But I think we have good quality, and I think the shoes are very good, and I think we have quite a good quality. Spain is a very easy country, so people are very much afraid of going out because out is very difficult for the Spanish. So you see how the French or the Italians are always everywhere. And normally the Spanish, we are always at home.